going back to the beginning, right before Katrina came, I was relatively new in the cathedral, and we'd done a study. We'd hired a consultant to say, what are the priorities of the cathedral? And some were working on spirituality and youth and new members. But one of the things that came up over and over was that we want to find a way to embrace all of our community, not just the St. Charles Avenue side, but the Central City side. And so we knew that was a priority, but then Katrina came, and that kind of launched why I felt comfortable that launching into this unknown area was important. Now, 10 years later, what I've seen is when this began on Saturday mornings, the cathedral didn't even have office hours. Now I can barely find space in the cathedral to have a vestry meeting, because we often have a homeowners group meeting in the parish hall, a cooking group for the neighborhood in the kitchen. Sometimes the front room, there's an eracism group meeting that is kind of related to Jericho Road. So why we should be involved is because for decades our leaders have been saying, don't just be ministering to the wealthy elite that has maybe historically been Episcopalian, but look in the wider community, because that's what we're all about. So we've done that, and we're just at the beginning of it, but it's really brought people into the cathedral, hundreds, maybe thousands of people in the last 10 years that will never be captured on a parochial report. They'll never be reported in the way we traditionally look at what the church does, but you can see how we've made ourselves not only a part of the neighborhood, but a central part of the neighborhood that we've been in for 120 years. We're at the crossroads of God's creation. We are in the crossroads between uptown and downtown in New Orleans, between Central City and the Garden District. I mean, we see ourselves kind of, particularly as a cathedral, at the center of things. And so we want to invite people in, people that want to worship, people that want a quiet place to pray, but other people that just need a safe, convenient space to meet for neighborhood associations or to talk about how to be better homeowners. And so we see this as the logical extension of what a cathedral at its best is a place where people who will never worship there, who are not baptized members, who aren't making pledges, but people see that as a place that is a home for them. And we don't know how we're touching their spiritual life just because they're not coming to a worship service. They see the clergy, they talk to us in the halls. It really can change the community in lots of ways that are not really traditionally the ways we measure as Episcopalians, but I think are probably infinitely more appropriate to the times in which we live. We're seen as a safe place in this city by Roman Catholics who wouldn't necessarily go to some other Protestant churches, by Baptists who maybe don't trust all the other denominations. I mean, we are conveners, and we sometimes don't realize that if I sit at Christ Church Cathedral and invite 15 different partners who might not gather under one roof in the mayor's office or in another nonprofit that's kind of polarized, they will come, and we're seen as people that will sit in the center, that aren't so much focused on taking credit for everything that we do, but that truly have a heart for the gospel, and the gospel in the sense of drawing all people into relationship with Christ, but also with one another.